Welcome to the channel, Optimize Every Day, where we're helping you to make a 1% change daily. Welcome to our channel, Optimize Every Day, where we discuss small changes you can make every day and how to make those changes every day. And we're here with
Charlie Starr
and Doug.
Doug's in the house. We're the DNC of optimization.
Yep. So, one of the things that people often want to do is they want to create lofty goals.
Yes.
Big things that they want to accomplish. And sometimes those goals are so big that it's like New Year's Day. You know, you come up with all these goals and then by January 31st, everything goes to shit. And you go, I can't do it, or I don't care about it, or whatever. What we're looking at is not necessarily the big goal, but the big goal is important.
Yeah, I think the goals are important, but you have to go about that in a certain way.
Right.
And they're trying to bite off more than they can chew at one time.
Right.
And then humans only have a certain load-bearing weight that they can carry.
Right.
And then trying to do so many things at once can be overwhelming, and you can
exactly.
fail.
So what we're looking at is what you can do to change your behaviors so that you achieve those goals. Because in the end, you want to have, the car, the house, the business, the product, the whatever it is that you're looking to accomplish. It doesn't happen overnight. And a lot of times people go and they say, my goal is, and they try and make massive changes really quick, and then suddenly they get overburdened or overexerted on trying to meet that goal, and then something comes up and it throws something into the mix, and then they start failing, and then they lose that emphasis on getting that
to the ultimate goal itself.
To the ultimate goal itself.
Yeah, I think what we're here to do is to kind of show people or teach people how to get to the goal by taking one step at a time, right?
Exactly.
In order to meet your I'm going to run every day and lose weight or get in shape goal, maybe the first step is stepping out the front door, putting on your running shoes, stepping out the front door. Maybe that's the first step you should take. Because a lot of people fail to even do that.
So, perfect example right there.
Mm-hmm.
You have a goal that you want to lose weight and you want to look better because it will, present a better face for you. So maybe the first 28 days, your goal is you put your running shoes on and you walk out the door.
Step out the door.
You don't do anything more than just put those running shoes on and go out the door.
Yeah.
And then if you feel so inclined, maybe you take a walk up the street and then come back, and you don't spend more than 2 minutes doing it, but you're doing something every day.
Yeah, Doug. I'd like to add that, like you say, they might go up the street, not even run that day. They might just walk for the block and come back like, it's too overwhelming.
Right.
But if you've already committed yourself to taking that same step tomorrow and the same step the next day, then you're probably going to start running at some point.
And what it ends up doing is it creates a habit that you need to go out that door every day. And once it's a habit, then you can continue to do it. And you have to remember that when you're creating new habits, you have to be able to get rid of bad habits.
You won't have room for them. When you have so much good stuff and your mind frame switches to good and you have all these good habits, there's no time for the bad habits. You don't have space for them.
But you have to make the bad habits things that are not as desirable. Because it's really easy to sit there and go, damn, I got to put my shoes on and go outside and go, I'd rather watch TV. Well, you've got to make that walk more important to you than turning on the TV and not walking. Because both of those activities will compete against each other.
Exactly. And I believe what you're also saying here is that when you commit yourself to the good decision, the bad decision doesn't have a opportunity, right? The TV doesn't have an opportunity when I've already committed myself to walking out the door.
Right, but there's still a place there where you can have that TV time, but you've got to make it so that the TV time is less important than the walk time, and you have to provide yourself with a thought or an idea that makes the walk more enticing than the
Exactly.
couch potato.
And I think what that is the commitment itself. But one way, I would say a very important way to get committed to something is to invest in it. The things as humans, the things that we invest in, we seem to be a little more committed to those things. Once we put money on a new $150 pair of running shoes, we might be more inclined to go use them, right?
Yeah, that may be
Right.
what is required for some people.
Yeah, and then I got my running outfit. That cost me another $150. So I'm $300 invested into running.
But the first step is not necessarily going out and buying those shoes. You sit there and go, when I've walked out that door 7 days in a row, I get to go buy new shoes. That then puts
Incentive,
an
yeah.
incentive for you to sit there and say, hey, I want those shoes more than I want the TV. So then it de-incentivizes the TV and re-incentivizes the going out and walking. And you're not doing, a big long walk. You're doing 2, maybe 3 minutes a day to start off with. And then once you get the running shoes, you go, well, instead of just walking, I'm going to run for 2 minutes, which means that maybe you'll go double the distance and come back. And you don't have to run the whole distance. Maybe you run up for 90 seconds and then you walk back to the house.
Exactly. And there's so much here to what you're saying. There's actually 2 parts that you had me think about here. One part is that, being incentivized to go run based upon already investing in it. Then the other part that you just mentioned was being incentivized by what you can achieve and what the goals may be. Well, I'm going to get the running shoes if I do it and if I get into it. And then, so there's a pre and post incentive here, right? Which is really good for whatever your goals are. But then there's also the thing of, trying to recall it right now. You made some great points there. It'll come back to me in a minute, but those are 2 great incentives.
And again, once you've got the running shoes and you've run up, and then you sit there and go, well, after I've done this for another 7 days, I'm going to go out and I'm going to look at running clothes, exercise clothes that will make me feel better.
Yeah, it becomes a part of your lifestyle with all that.
Exactly. And so when you sit there and go, I don't want to just purchase anything. I want to purchase that which is going to be best for me.
Exactly.
And maybe you go out and you see something and you go, I'm going to purchase this when I lose 5 pounds. So then you're then incentivized again because now you have a goal to lose 5 pounds, and the goal comes with a benefit. And so now you're going out and you're getting out the door, you're doing your walk, run, and now you're sitting there going, well, I'm feeling a little bit better. Instead of doing a walk run, I'm going to run up and I'm going to run back.
Yeah.
And now, instead of doing it 2 minutes, I'm going to increase that to 5.
Yeah, and that brings up the point from earlier that you just reconnected to it. There's some people, the way they're built, they're going to go out the first day and they're actually going to run that mile or 2 or whatever it is, right? And then after they do that, they're going to feel like crap, because when you get back to running and working out, you're going to be sore, stuff like that. Your body's going to change, and you might go out the next day after that, or not be so motivated the next few days.
Right.
So there's these fluctuations and things that can happen throughout your process. But
Exactly.
the key, so I think the key there is probably just staying motivated, finding ways, the healthy lifestyle change, stuff like that, keep you in a zone of motivation.
And the idea here is you're not making a big change every day. You're improving yourself one little percent.
Small
That
steps.
little tiny small step, when you look at it, it doesn't seem like very much. But if you improve 1% today on that little thing, and then you improve 1% more the next day, and then 1% more the next day, and you look at whatever you're doing in your life, what is that 1% thing that you can do today that you can continue doing? So it's not just making a 1% change today, it's making a 1% change every day. And those 1% changes have to build on what you did yesterday.
Exactly right.
And at the end of the year, you're looking at, 365 to 380% improvement in yourself. So, maybe going out and doing a run, and you're doing things and you're in a bad financial situation while you're out running, your mind clears, and then at some point you get into a meditative stance while you're running. That's not going to happen in one day.
Yeah, not the first day.
That's not going to happen the first day. It's not going to happen the first week. It may not even happen the first month. It may take 2, maybe 3 months before you get to that meditative state where you can run and your whole mind just is able to clear, and then you just relax your body, and then you can then start thinking about things.
Yeah, it's where you're focused on something else besides the run itself. Once the run becomes a habit, like you say,
Yeah.
right? Then your focus becomes, oh, my surroundings, right? What environment am I running in? You can't wait to take that trip or go to this certain town because you'll get to run on the beach there, right?
Right.
Or you'll get to run here. And then you start to become excited about where you're actually running. And we're just using running as an example. There's so many things in life you can do this with.
Exactly. And life has its seasons. So, running is a really great example because right now it's almost fall and the temperatures are cooling. And so when you're looking at running consistently, now you got to start thinking.
Yeah, this is a great time of year to start.
It's a great time of year to start. And then once you've got that habit going, then you sit there and go, damn, it's snowing outside. I don't care that it's snowing outside. I'm just going to put another layer on and go out and run.
I mean, the snow, the extreme heat, that just gives you an extra challenge that makes you feel good about yourself once you tackle it and challenge it. So
it's making that behavioral change that gets you and makes you better and puts you in a mindset that you can do more and make more 1% changes. So
the daily 1 steps.
You and I both are in situations that are pretty unique.
Yeah.
And if you had to sit there and say, I'm going to make a 1% change, what 1% change?
My phone's going off.
Of course the phone's going off.
Right in the middle of this.
Right in the middle. But that's okay. You don't have to answer the phone.
Right.
You sit there and you go,
That's my change for the day. I'm not answering the phone.
Well, that's...
yeah, if I had to make a 1% change, you were saying.
Yeah, if you had to make a 1% change, what is a 1% change thing that you could do today that would improve your life when you look at it towards meeting some end goal?
I think on day one, because this is day one for us, my 1% change would start with being more efficient and conscious efficiency and how I use my time. So try to break down the things that I do on a daily basis, try to do them faster. There was a project I was recently working on, and it was some of the items, like say in video editing, stuff like that, taking me 2 to 4 hours to complete. And now I've found faster ways to get that done because your money is your time, is your energy, is your attention. So all those things they're all currency. So when I become efficient with time, saves me money, does things like that.
Right.
Here we go with improvement. Now we're more efficient. We're running things at a faster rate.
So now you're just proving the point that the 1% change is something that
instantly helps.
Instantly helps. And when you build on those things, one bad habit that we as humans have is that once we get to a point of mastery and we're really good at something, then for some reason we slip.
Yeah.
And that slippage causes us not to perform at our 100%. So then part of what we need to be looking at in our 1% change is how do we, once we reach that 100%, move on so that we don't slip, but continue improving. So that's an area that we will want to be discussing, but we're not going to do that today because we're not at that point.
Yeah, that'll be further on in the series. I mean, today's day one, and thank you guys for joining us for this. Going to be quite the journey here, because every day we've kind of committed ourselves to making a 1%, one-step change.
You've sat there and made your 1% change.
Yeah, what's yours coming up here?
My 1% change is that I am going to look at how I can get to tasks of paperwork. Paperwork is one of those tasks I detest.
That is everybody. That's everybody.
It's not one of those things that's difficult, but I need to spend time on it. I have some big goals that requires a lot of paperwork get done in a short period of time, but that does not end the paperwork. All that's going to do is create more paperwork.
Yeah, it creates more. and you detest the paperwork because most humans do. Nobody likes paperwork because in order to really get into it and do it right, it takes a lot of calm and focus. And we just don't have it in our daily lives. Everybody's moving. Calm and focus is not what we have.
And my head is one that is constantly on
going.
Either it's at 100 miles an hour or it's at, I gotta chill, I'm stopped. And I need to get my mind to a point where I'm at 30% speed all the time.
Yeah, good luck.
That's a hard one.
Yeah, because the more you're grinding, the more it's going. You're always creating and thinking, and it's hard to slow down.
And sometimes learning how to slow down is going to, in my case, that's something I need to do, is learn how to slow down, so then I can get to a point where my slowing down speeds me up.
Right.
Because if you take off running full speed ahead, and then you run out of gas.
Might run for a longer distance if you slow down.
Yeah. So that's where my 1% is going to be focused on today.
I like that.
I'm going to be focusing on that on the next day. But tomorrow, we're going to...
It'll be something else.
Or
maybe increasing the same thing.
But we're going to sit there and give accountability to each other on this.
So I'm going to ask you about your paperwork?
Yep, you are.
And you're going to ask me about if I'm being efficient or not?
Yes.
This is not good.
So I'm holding you accountable. You're holding me accountable.
Woo.
And hopefully the viewers here, they can put some comments in here. And we can read those comments. And
I'm going to leave the comment reading to you because that's part of the paperwork. And I would be inefficient at it.
So you put your comments down below, and I will commit to reading those on a daily basis. And I will get to as many of those as I can every day.
Yeah, and try to like and subscribe to the channel. This is just the first video, but it's going to be quite the journey. There's a lot of information that two older guys like ourselves have to share. We're just kind of chilling today, having a little fun. But getting this journey started. This should be very interesting.
Exactly. So this is the first step in a longer journey.
Yeah.
And we anticipate that from you seeing us grow, that you'll implement some of those things. And then when you put your comments in the channel, then at some point we'll respond to that. And then we'll do what we can to try and hold you accountable within what we're reading in the channel, and give you ideas that will help and improve you, making a 1% improvement every day.
That's right. And so now we've had a phone call and a knock at the door. And as you can see, we're at the resort right now. So that's what's up,
So like and subscribe.
And comment.
And comment.
We'll see you
and
guys.
We'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, every day.
Every day. This will be an everyday thing. So
Deuces.
have a great one.